So AI in e-commerce just leveled up again, and if you're a clothing brand owner, this is a game changer. And I know I've said that word a couple times, but this truly is a game changer. Google's Nano Banana model, the one that they just dropped, is about to make your website photography insanely better without needing a massive studio budget. Think of this as kind of having your professional photographer, editor, creative director, all just in your pocket. Hey, I'm Christian Pinion, one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding. We specialize in helping clothing brands scale online. We've served over 300 clothing brands in the last year alone. Would appreciate if you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our latest. Now let's deep dive into Google's Nano Banana. It's a funny name, but it truly has a serious power. It can change the way your brand uses photography on your website. So I'm gonna break down just 5 specific use cases that can help you boost conversions, look more professional, and maybe stand out from your competitor. So use case number 1. Actually, before I jump into the use case, I do want to mention this because I made the mistake of searching Nano Banana on Google, or in this case, DuckDuckGo, and I got a bunch of results here for nano-banana.io, nanobanana.ai, nano- So all of these are like, don't go through any of these. Just open up gemini.google.com, and this right here, when you click on tools, you will see the create images and it will have that little banana emoji. I don't know why this is the legitimate way of using Google Gemini. Actually, there are other ways, right? I think Gemini is included in Higgsfield, which I know we've talked about Higgsfield in the past, and I believe it's also included in Photoshop. Some of the, if you pay for Photoshop, you can also technically tap into this Nano Banana model. But again, the OG legitimate way of using it is with the Google Gemini account and clicking on that create images down here. So use case number 1 is automated background editing, which is one of the most time-consuming tasks. It used to be one of the most time-consuming tasks in photography, is cleaning up background. So if you've ever done a shoot in your living room, rented space, you know the pain of cluttered backgrounds. And Nano Banana makes this just instant. It can strip out backgrounds, it can replace them with branded colors, textured visuals, or even studio-like white backgrounds just seamlessly. And why does this matter? So according to Shopify, clean and consistent product photography can increase conversion rates by up to 30%. So if your collection page looks uniform, customers trust you more. They perceive your brand as premium, and they will be more likely to buy. So let's go over that example here real quick. So let's say we went and did a amazing photo shoot with some great models, and again, we have kind of like this crazy background in here. It's great for a lifestyle shot, which it could still work on your website, but that first image that you see on your store, if you don't have an image of a model with a clean white background, then that may be a problem. So let's just prompt it, a really quick prompt, and let's see how it does by just removing the background and placing him in more of a studio-like background. Click on create image, and then we submit it. Okay, then boom, at a glance, we have model, exact same pose, because we didn't tell it to change anything about what he was wearing or how he was looking, etc. So just a clean way of removing backgrounds. You can definitely have it with Google Gemini. Okay, use case number 2 is realistic model generation. So this one's pretty huge. So say you can't afford multiple models for your photo shoots. With Nano Banana, you can generate diverse, realistic looking models wearing your products. You upload one reference photo, and AI can show your shirt, dress on different skin tones, body types, different genders. Not only does this save thousands in production costs, but also taps into inclusivity. So inclusivity isn't just nice to have, it's profitable. McKinsey reported that brands showcasing diversity in their marketing see a 19% increase in revenue compared to less diverse competitors. Now, before I move on, quick question for you. If AI could create unlimited realistic models for your brand, would you use it? Like how many is too many, right? I wanna know, and I would like to hear your comments down below. Now, for this particular example, we're gonna take this image that's already been generated for us, and we're going to try to completely change the skin color, right, of maybe hair length of the model, just to kind of give you an example of what we can do with something that's already pre-existing. Okay, there we go. So what we did was change it to blonde, longer hair color, shave the beard, and again, it keeps everything else intact, which is I just absolutely love it. The actual product, right, what the thing that we're trying to sell here has been left intact from our original photo, And we've been able to fully manipulate this into something completely different. Use case number 3 is lighting and shadow perfection. So bad lighting can ruin some good photography. So shadows may be too harsh, or colors not popping, fabric looking flat. It happens to everyone. So Nano Banana lets you adjust lighting after the photo is taken. It's kind of just like Photoshop, right? On steroids. If you want softer shadows done, if you want brighter highlights on the fabric texture, super easy. And this is critical because clothing is a touch product, right? People can't physically touch your fabric online, so your photography has to sell that feel. And clear lighting just makes textures pop. It helps bridge that gap. So think of it as letting your customers almost feel the fabric right through the screen. Okay, so let's say you have this photograph right here, which unfortunately it was taken in the shadow, and the lighting is just not the best. So can we make this better with Gemini? Of course we can. So let's test that out real quick. We're gonna upload our file. And again, I'm using super simple prompts. The more detailed that you can get with these prompts, the better results you're going to get. And obviously no model is going to be perfect. So there are going to be some models that, or some versions of this, right, that it absolutely just doesn't, create the thing that you want. So by default, you will have to end up diving deeper into the actual prompt overall. And as you can see here, like, yes, it lit up the picture a little bit better, but if we wanted more details on the type of lighting, the angles that we want, we can actually give it all the details and it'll do a pretty good job. It does, I would say, a little bit of what they call hallucination, right? Where you give it a prompt and it just doesn't recognize it. It doesn't do it. So you have to be very specific about the prompt that you're giving. Now, use case number 4 is one of my favorites. You can actually change the angle or the pose of the original photo. And this really blows my mind. So let's say you only took one good shot of your hoodie from the front. Normally you'd have to reshoot to show a side angle or an angled view, right? And with Nano Banana, you can actually just change the angle or the pose of the original photo without ever stepping back into the studio. So that means that just one photo can instantly become 5 photos, right? And it can get you sort of like all the nice little angles. Obviously, if you have some crazy design on the back of this hoodie or whatever garment that you're trying to take a picture of, it's gonna be a little bit different. It may take actually a little bit more prompting, but for those side angle shots or maybe some just different cool poses, like this can definitely be huge for a lot. So let's go ahead and upload just a new photo here. Files, let's do this girl right here. And let's just say, yeah, keep product photo the same. So let's see how this does. Like, she has a hand on her hip and she's looking at the distance. I told her look straight into the camera. Maybe I guess I put both hands in the pocket. So we'll see how that looks. I kind of wanted just one hand in the pocket, but let's see how this turns out. I mean, can't get any better than this. Yeah, same model, same product, just looking at the camera, both hands, and that actually looks very natural. It looks very good. Something that I will say about some of these images, when you download them afterwards, you will see that little watermark for Google Gemini at the bottom. You can just go to Photoshop, Canva, remove that really quickly, pretty easily, I would say. Yeah, I love that. Love that case study. And stuff like this is also great for ads as well. So imagine, yeah, on the website, you have this original photo, but maybe in ads, you can actually go crazy with the creative because you have the ability to just change the model, change the pose, change if it's just looking at the camera or not looking at the camera. So the possibilities here are endless on how you can use this. So I know we're talking directly about things that you can do on the website, but outside of that, it's also there. So use case number 5 is lifestyle scene generation. So again, studio photos I think are essential, but lifestyle shots a lot of times can sell the dream. And to be honest, women tend to shop for clothes that they can see themselves in, right? So having some shots that are gonna be lifestyle photos on the product pages is absolutely. Now, a problem with lifestyle images is renting locations, hiring photographers, staging shoots. I mean, it can get really pricey. Now, if you do this type of studio photography, you can just upload your product shot and place your hoodie, your product, whatever, in a coffee shop scene, for example. Put your swimsuit on a beach, your jacket in a city nightscape, right? Like, it not only saves budget, but also increases the relatability of your product and who is it that you're trying to sell it to. Now, just to give you a stat here, lifestyle images increase engagement by 40% compared to standard studio shots. I think studio shots are very important, but lifestyles are also. People don't just buy clothes, they buy the lifestyle. And AI generated scenes let you sell that lifestyle at scale. Now, let's get over just a quick example of how that could look. So I'm going to do a just very straightforward. So I'm taking a studio shot and I'm literally almost just prompting it like create a lifestyle shot. And then I put a little bit here like night out with friends just to see how it can generate this, just kind of giving it an idea. And I'll show you a different example that I did with a different brand. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. So we have added 3 friends. We're out in the, looks like the street, looks like a nice little patio, maybe drinking it with friends. And then the product, again, that's the beauty of Nano Banana, is that it can take products that already exist and put it into situations like this where it just helps so much. Now here's another one that I did, just a very simple shot. The model is actually outside, so it's not a perfect studio shot, but it was a very simple prompt: create a lifestyle shot. And it just had her sitting on a restaurant, just kind of looking at the camera with her wine and glass. But again, the details for the actual product that she's wearing, that's like what really blows my mind, which it just gets all these things one for one. And even the model's aesthetics, something that I think ChatGPT and some of these other models have struggled in the past, is getting that consistency of the model, getting that consistency of the product to transfer over has been very difficult. Okay, now the last case study that I want to give you is, let's say you do have studio photography with a model and you want to, for whatever reason, you don't have just that clean shot of just the garment by itself on maybe like a white background. And that's what we want to create here. So we're getting from a model to just kind of taking this shirt away and putting it in sort of like a flat lay option. So we're going to upload that image that we used just a second ago, and then we're going to prompt it. We need to make sure that we click on the Nano Banana icon, and let's see what it can come up with. Beautiful. So I didn't specify that I didn't want the pants in there, so it actually also did the pants, which they look a little bit smaller, but the actual shirt itself, it actually did a really good job of getting the collar, getting the buttons in there, getting the long sleeve option. Yeah, I mean, everything about it, the color just matches one for one, which is exactly what we want. So we may have to, prompt it a little bit better, but this is another just great use case for this type of stuff, where if you already have, I mean, this is another scenario where you could have photography from your vendor, right? And it's all just model photography, and you want to transform it into something that looks cleaner for the website, just the garment. This is just a great way of transforming that. And also getting rid of wrinkles, getting rid of just making the product just picture perfect. It's just next level. Now hold up just 1 second. I want to say, if you are a clothing brand owner and want to jump into the specifics of your brand and how to grow it profitably, you can schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us. There are limited spots, so you can go find a time right now. There's a link in the description below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then I think you definitely need to check out the video that I did on Hicksfield, which goes a little bit more in depth about other use cases and other scenarios that you may run into when creating photography for your website. I think Gemini blows everything out of the water, but a combination of Gemini and Nano Banana with Hicksfield, that will probably be my next video. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. And if you want to check out that video and you haven't yet, go check that out right now. See you later.